Feel most welcome. As usual, we are going to take an highlights of some of the articles that we have recently published on our website. As usual, we publish articles every day, but today we will look at some of those leading websites, some of those leading articles that we have published on kerosi.com. A leading blog. Kerosi.com is a leading blog on economics, entertainment, politics, policy, that is public policy, sports, news, business, and gospel. So we are here now, and we shall look at some of the articles that we have done. Let me take you straight to the website so that you can be able to see what we have. We will start with the first article, which comes from KCB Group. KCB is Kenya Commercial Bank. We are told that there is change of guard at KCB. So Paul Russo has been appointed as the new Chief Executive Officer of KCB Group, replacing Joshua Oigara. Joshua Oigara, as you might be aware, is the current Chief Executive Officer. So now Joshua Oigara's term as the Chief Executive Officer at Kenya Commercial Bank has come to an end after 10 years at the helm. KCB Group, that is on Twitter at KCB Group, wrote, the KCB Group PLC board has today appointed Paul Russo as the company's Group Chief Executive Officer effective May 25th, 2022. He replaces Joshua Oigara, who has been the Group Chief Executive Officer for the last 9.5 years. So he was nearly making the 10 years at the helm. So he would, this new CEO was appointed following a competitive process. Until this appointment, Russo was the Managing Director of National Bank of Kenya, and Joshua Oigara will remain at KCB until the end of the year 2022 to support the leadership transition process. The statement by the KCB Group read, I quote, the board acknowledges Joshua's immense contribution in driving the growth of the group business over the decade. He has been instrumental in deepening financial inclusion and social impact across East Africa, end of quote. During his term at the helm of KCB, Oigara oversaw expansion of KCB. At home, Oigara over the acquisition of National Bank of Kenya, which has now produced a new CEO. The incoming CEO holds a bachelor's in business management from Moi University and a master's in business administration from Strathmore University Business School. That is the story. So now we want to move on to other stories on the. There are many stories on this website, which you need to look at as we go on. So now I'm going to take you to the other stories on this website. It is important that we put them together instead of producing several small videos. I think having one big video is good enough. It's good enough so that we don't have to bombard you with several videos. So this story is about Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi is the Speaker of the Senate in the US. If I'm correct, Nancy Pelosi is the Speaker of the Senate, I believe. So let us go back to the website and see that story. So what's happening with Nancy Pelosi? So Nancy Pelosi won't be receiving communion anytime soon because an influential Catholic bishop has said so. Okay. So this is the Pope with Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker. So Archbishop Salvatore Cadileone, a key decision maker for all things Roman Catholic in Francisco, has made a decision about Nancy Pelosi, the House Speaker. The Archbishop said that Nancy is banned from receiving communion anywhere in town. The main reason for the ban is Pelosi's continued support of abortion is a grave sin under Catholic law, and because he continues to get more extreme in her support. The Archbishop said that he had no choice other than to ban her from receiving communion. For the Roman Catholics, receiving communion is a high rite of going to church. Basically, it is a big deal. Communion represents Jesus' actual body, and receiving it means becoming on with Jesus Christ, becoming one with Jesus Christ. The statement read, "I have determined that the point has come in which I must make a public declaration that she is not to be admitted to Holy Communion unless and until she publicly repudiates her support for abortion rights and confess and receive absolution for her cooperation in the evil in the sacrament of penancy." That is a powerful Archbishop Salvatore Cordileone speaking. He added that, "I say, I have accordingly sent her a notification to this effect, which I have now made public. Unless Catholic priests go rogue, they have to uphold this rule. The Catholic Church adheres to the hierarchy quite strictly, and hardly anyone gets out of line with this stuff," end of quote. So that is the powerful Archbishop of San Francisco, Archbishop Salvatore, saying that Nancy Pelosi should not receive communion. Nancy Pelosi is a regular churchgoer, and she is a proud Catholic. On the other hand, she is one of the most vocal lawmakers in the United States of America. Let us listen on YouTube, that is ABC News, what the Nancy Pelosi is saying.
We're here on the steps of the United States Capitol, across from the Supreme Court, to say to the Supreme Court and to the Senate, hands off women's reproductive health care. Last week, Americans saw a draft option showing the GOP-appointed court is poised to strike down Roe v. Wade, a 50-year precedent held up again by Casey. Already, Republicans across the nation are mobilizing around a dangerous and extreme agenda to criminalize all forms of reproductive health care, including IVF, contraception, and post-miscarriage care. Think of that. Just last week, Senate Republicans lined up in lockstep behind Mitch McConnell and Trump to vote to rip away the constitutional right to health freedom for American women. Now, they want a nationwide ban on abortion. They have said that. Make no mistake, once Republicans shed long-standing precedent and privacy rights, they intend to wage an all-out assault on more of our rights, including access to contraception and marriage equality. As Republicans seek to control and criminalize women's reproductive health freedoms, Democrats are fighting to enshrine Roe v. Wade into law.
An entire generation of people have only known a world with protections under Roe. Now we know how extreme the Republicans are and the court and how extreme they are. And not one Republican senator voted to even consider legislation that protects our rights to make our own reproductive health decisions. They're totally out of step with the public, where 70% of people support personal liberty and freedoms to make their own personal decisions about their bodies. Now remember that they tell you that they care about personal freedom. Remember that, because
So you can hear the powerful speeches being made by Nancy Pelosi and our fellow senators on the steps of the Senate across the Supreme Court of the US. They are very articulate and they are very direct on supporting women's rights, especially the right to abortion or the right to abort when things are not working on well. And the Catholic Church is against abortion of any form. So you can see Nancy Pelosi could have been in danger of being denied Holy Communion. So in another article published on this great website, kerosi.com, it says, I want to spend the rest of my life with her. British man dumps his partner of 10 years after falling for Ukrainian refugee who came to live with them to escape war. What's happening? This is the beautiful Ukrainian refugee who came to live with a family in the UK and ended up eloping with the man of the house. So a British married man and a father of two has fallen in love with a Ukrainian refugee who came to live with the family to escape the war in Ukraine. Of course, you see this happening. Many people are escaping the war in Ukraine, especially women and children, and they are finding refuge in families in the UK and other countries across the world. Mail Online reported that Tony Garnett, 29, and his partner Rona, 28, took in Sofia Kalkadim at the start of May, but 10 days later the couple's marriage broke when the man erupted with the refugee. What happened? Tony, who works as a security guard and lives in Bradford, disclosed that he has fallen in love with the Ukrainian refugee and plans to spend the rest of his life with her. Sofia, who fled the city of Lviv in western Ukraine, stated that she fancied Tony as soon as she set her eyes on him. This turn of events will cause a lot of pain to Rona, but Tony believes that he has discovered a connection with Sofia like I have never had before. The family had hosted Sofia in an effort to do their bit to help Ukrainians who were fleeing war in Ukraine after Russian invasion. Today, Tony told the Sun that he wanted to do the right thing. He revealed that she was the first person to get in touch after Facebook page where he had offered to house a refugee. Sofia works as an IT manager. She flew to Manchester on May 4th after waiting for days in Germany for his UK visa to be approved. Tony says that Sofia quickly developed a connection with his two daughters but not his partner of 10 years. We were getting on brilliantly, but at that time, it was no more than that. Although I can see why Rona started to feel jealousy and resentful of her, Tony said. With time, Sofia could join Tony at the gym and they used to have conversations in his car. At home, I realized we were finding excuses to touch and brush against each other. It was very flirtatious, but nothing more than what happened at that stage. Although it was fairly innocent, it was causing arguments. I can understand that. When I got in at night, Sofia could be the one who had made a meal for me to try. As the two got closer and closer, Rona became very jealous, according to Tony. She started questioning why Sofia was following him around at all times. The atmosphere was getting really bad, and Sofia told me she didn't know whether she could continue to live with us under these circumstances. She said, Rona was never that enthusiastic about having a refugee in our home because it meant the girls had to move into one room. Later, the two women quarreled, and this left Sofia in tears. And she said that she cannot continue living with Rona in the same house. Tony told Rona, if she's going, I'm going. The two packed their bags and left the house and moved in with Tony's parents. Later, they were looking at properties to move into. Tony and Rona's relationship of 10 years ended in just 10 days. Tony says that he feels bad and Rona is not the one to blame. I'm so sorry for what Rona is going through. This was not her fault. It was not about anything she did wrong. he never set out to do this. We never set out to do this. It wasn't planned, and we didn't mean to hurt anyone. End of quote. That is the story of how a refugee from Ukraine ended roping with a man, the man of the house, who hosted her after she ran away from war in Ukraine. So you might be aware that the war in Ukraine has displaced millions of people because Russia had invaded Ukraine, which means that many people escaped war. Of course, when there is a war, you see many people being displaced. That happened here in Ethiopia, our neighboring country, and many people escaped to Sudan. Others escaped to, I think, Sudan and Egypt. And of course, even Kenya, some of them came here. So war is not a good thing. War can displace, war can destroy your economic life, your source of livelihoods. War can bring you to zero. So war is something which must be prevented by all means. Otherwise, that is the story. The other story which we are looking at today, away from the story of war in Ukraine and how a refugee ended up taking the man of the house, there is also the story. Which story are we looking at? This is the next story. The next story is about Taliban. This the Taliban story, I think we have covered it already. Let us cover this story. This is the last story. The story is about Kylian Mbappe. Kylian Mbappe, I hope I've pronounced it correctly. Kylian Mbappe, or Kylian Mbappe, snaps Real Madrid transfer and signs new PSG 3-year contract to get 1 million per week salary. You know, when we were at university, we used to study how sports world pay a lot of money. They pay plenty of money to sportsmen. This is a lot of money, by the way, when someone is taking home $1 million US. $1 million US per week, actually, which means in a month, which has 4 weeks, of course, the gentleman will take home $4 million US in a month. How much is that in Kenyan shillings? That's around, if we say $1 is equal to 100 shillings, which it is not, that will be around 400 million, over 400 million every month. Taking home 400 million every month is really shocking. So this story is about a gentleman by the name Kylian Mbappe, and it's going to be our last story, by the way, for today, who is taking home $1 million US per week as salary. So Paris Saint-Germain soccer star and World Cup winner Kylian Mbappe has confirmed that he signed a new contract with Parc des Princes just days after he seemed to be joining Real Madrid. Kylian Mbappe, 23, addressed a crowd before the final home game of Paris Saint-Germain of League One season against the Mets on May 21st. He was handed the mic to announce that he has signed a 3-year contract with PSG. So Real Madrid was confident that they were to sign the football star once his contract with PSG expired. This never came to happen. This never happened. It never happened, actually. So Real Madrid was very confident that they will be able to have this gentleman by the name Kylian. But, you know, Kylian changed his mind and said no. So Real Madrid was very confident. Now, you see, a lot of confidence is not good. The 1 million a week contract has seen the superstar commit his future to PSG or Paris Saint-Germain club. So he said, I quote, I'm very pleased I'm very happy to stay at PSG in France. I always said Paris is home. It's my home. I hope we'll continue to play football and win trophies together. Thanks for everything. I hope that I will continue to do what I prefer to with you all and win titles together. Thanks a lot, he told the crowds. So Nasser Al-Khelaifi, the PSG president, broke the news saying that I am proud to give you a beautiful news. Kylian Mbappe has signed until June 2025 with Paris Saint-Germain. Mbappe has helped the club win their 10th League One title. Their 10th League One title. 10th League One title. So what is happening here is that Mbappe has helped the club win their 10th League One title, and the superstar has the most goals as well as the most assists in league with 25 and 17 respectively in the division alone. In this new contract, Mbappe now surpasses his teammates Lionel Messi and Neymar as the highest earner in the PSG club. So taking home $1 million is not a joke. So it means he is an asset. This Mbappe is an asset to PSG. It's an asset to PSG. And we take this chance to tell Real Madrid sorry for missing on this beautiful chance to recruit Kylian Mbappe to your team. Otherwise, next time maybe you will get him. Thank you very much for tuning in to Kerosi TV. And if you are new here, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also subscribe to our website, kerosi.com. Subscribe. That is how we will be able to let you know when we publish new content here on YouTube and also on the website. So you see this bell-shaped button here. Please click on it so that you get notifications immediately we publish something on your computer, on your smartphone, on your tablet. You will be able to get notifications immediately we publish new content. Otherwise, thank you very much for tuning in to Kerosi TV. We look forward. Let me say this final thing, that we look forward to interacting with you in our next episode. Thank you very much. Make sure you subscribe, you comment, and you like our videos. See you next